After starting the season 3-0, Carolina Panthers fans are left sitting at 5-12 wondering what the fuck. How's it going, everyone? My name is Colin Winters. I am the host of the Panthers Den. Today we are going over what the fuck actually happened over the course of the 21-2022 season. So, the best way I can describe it in the short term is a massive goddamn clusterfuck. But to go in a little bit deeper, we're going to look at some stats first and then talk about why this might have happened. First thing is, I'm at Pro Football Reference, pretty good site. I get most of my football, quick information from it, not my research information, but this is just quick for quick stats. Camera, please focus on my goddamn face. It's not that hard. I know I'm really pale, but I don't look like the rest of my lighting in my room. That's why I have dark curtains. Anyway, so we of course have, fourth in the NFC South Division. Coach Matt Rule, 5-12. We had 304 points for. We were 29th in the league for that. And for points against, we had 404. We were 21st in the league. We didn't do too good. Joe Brady was our offensive coordinator. Of course, he has since been fired. And Phil Snow is our current defensive coordinator, who is something on them hose as hard as he can with the lack of offensive help. When it came to more team stats and all that, when it came to just offensive stats, you'll see that it was abysmal. We are consistently ranked 29th and 30th in the league. That is bottom 5. It is absolutely awful. And it's a real weird consistency when it comes to the fact that there would be points where the offense would start moving, and it would be for 2 drives, and they would immediately die and be sent to Valhalla. On the other hand, you have the defense, who, when it comes for points against them, they rank in a lower mid, but that's because half the time they are put in consistently terrible places, and you can't really do much when your offense keeps giving the defense the ball at the 15-yard line. But you can tell in the yards, we are second ranked in that. So our defense did fantastically when it came to this. It was a great year for the defense. Phil Snow showed that he has what it takes, and the defense is showing to become quite a cohesive unit. That is pretty much the only bright spot that we're going to have to be able to go over when it comes to an overall team aspect. But of course, there are certain things to be happy for looking to the future, unlike all the fucking fans on Twitter would lead you to believe. Now, we're going to go over what happened game by game. Of course, this is not a too in-depth look at it. This is just a quick overview. So, New York Jets. The score ended up being 19-14. So, alright, pretty good. We held Zach Wilson for the most part. And Zach Wilson only really got, the 2 touchdowns after, having a, bunch of garbage time points and yards. After that, we have New Orleans Saints, who were just coming off of a huge win, 5 touchdowns by Jameis Winston, and then we shut them down 26-7. It started to feel great. That's where the defense really came into it. Brian Burns going off on Jameis Winston. And after that, we go to the Houston Texans, where in the beginning of the game, it was a little bit iffy, but eventually we started to pull away. 24-9 is the score there. Then after that, we have the Dallas Cowboys. Dallas Cowboys was a big game for us. It was going to be the first game against an opponent that was showing that they were for real. It was the first opponent that was an actual good team, because you'll find that as the year goes on, both New York Saints and Houston weren't really much to talk about. But Dallas was the big one, and we held our own for the most part. There were 2 fumbles, one of which was debatable, one of which was just a straight fumble by Jeremy Chin, which should have been called for a forced fumble. He did an amazing tackle, and I shit my pants when it was not. Camera, for God's sake. But the final score ended up being 28-36, the first loss of the season. After that, we went to the Philadelphia Eagles, which for some reason, we just couldn't do anything, and it ended up being a special teams blunder that put the game away. Final score 18-21. After that, we go to the Minnesota Vikings, who, I was expecting the loss on that one just because the Vikings seem to always steal one away from us. It was an overtime loss, ended up being, just one of those games. After that, we were going up against the measly New York Giants, and honestly, that was a game that we should have won handily, especially with how injured the Giants were during that game. But it didn't go out like that, because we ended up getting shit stomped 3-25. No touchdown. It was a complete offensive disaster because the offense couldn't do jack shit, and the defense, trying their fucking hardest in bad positions, were doing great for all the fucking turnovers we committed, but, just fuck it, why not? After that, we get back into the win column to get to 500, back with the Atlanta Falcons going 19-13, so woohoo. It was a, pretty mediocre game, where that game was a lot of Sam Darnold finally coming back to form and then getting injured. After that, we have a game with the New England Patriots, which in the beginning was just, back and forth defensive battle, but eventually the Patriots kind of started to, sneak away a little bit with the game, ended up winning that 6-24, but that we finally confirmed that Darnold's injury was more severe than we thought, so going to Arizona, we would have to start PJ Walker. Before the game with the Arizona Cardinals, the Panthers didn't do the move, which is mostly PR, but did great for the leadership aspect in the locker room and signed Cam Newton back to the team. And of course, with the Arizona game, we ended up winning that one handily against, a battered Arizona Cardinals, but we were battered pretty too, so it was actually a pretty good team win, and we won that 34-10. We go into the Washington football team, and that one was just a good game all around, but we ended up losing 21-27, not too much to talk about there. Then we go to the Miami Dolphins, and for some reason, that's the, game that they decided to be a defensive powerhouse, and we get stomped 10-33. Then we hit our bye week where nothing really happened besides Panthers fans crying over and over again. After that, we had the Atlanta Falcons, 21-29 Falcons. Bad game. Oh well. After that, we have the Buffalo Bills. Didn't really expect to win there. 14-31 there. We got shit stomped. After that, Tampa Bay Buccaneers, because, fuck. It was 6-32. Absolute shit stomp again. Back to New Orleans Saints. We should be able to get a nice happy win here. It's a divisional rival, but no, it's 10-18. We get fucked. After that, Tampa Bay Buccaneers again, we get fucked even harder than last time. We put up more points, but they do as well. 17-41. Most of all of the season's downfall can come to the fact that we had no consistency on offense when it came to the quarterback position and the offensive line. I don't feel like any quarterback could have really done good under our offensive line. It might be one of the worst offensive lines in NFL history that I can think of. I mean, goddamn, we couldn't stop shit. I mean, let's see. Sam Darnold gets sacked 35 times during the year. Cam got sacked 10 times, and PJ got sacked 7 times. And there's another issue right there. There are 3 quarterbacks that have started this season. 3. The last time we had that much of a fucking issue was back in 2019 when we were, having to fucking go through, no, it was 2018, wasn't it? Where we went through both Cam, Kyle Allen, and then Will Grier. Once you're starting 3 quarterbacks in a season, you don't have enough consistency to be a good team. That is just blatantly how it works. You can't be starting 3 quarterbacks because you don't have consistency between them. Only time you would ever want to be starting 3 quarterbacks is, minor injuries making them having to miss games. But no, we started them because we didn't know who the fuck the guy was going to be. So, yeah, no, fucking awful. This season marks off the 3rd straight year where the Carolina Panthers have only had 15 combined wins in all of them. That is not even enough to fill a even this year regular season. So we're just goddamn awful. And look, I love this team to death, and I'm never going to stop being a fan of it. But I'm also sick and tired of the fans who think everything falls on Matt Rule because they're too in love with Cam to say that it's also the fact that Cam can't carry a team anymore. And look, Matt Rule has some personality issues that he needs to fix, or else the locker room's going to end up becoming toxic and the culture around Carolina is going to be even worse. But I'm ready to give him that chance in this final year. If we see no improvement this year, then yeah, boot him out. But people wanting to boot him out right now, that's not going to do any of us good. I mean, what else are we going to do? Just sit there, go through another, head coach carousel? We're already going through our own quarterback carousel. We don't have the time for that right now. So try to let Rule show that he can be a better person and a better coach. We gave him all the money. Why waste it? I feel like Sam Darnold deserves a chance under a better offensive line. He has the weapons, but he has no protection. How are you going to be able to throw from your back? It's not going to work. So what happened was a complete lack of, offensive line help, for some reason, complete decline in Joe Brady's play calling. 2020, we were all excited because we were getting some extravagant play calls. But after that, nothing. There was nothing that we could really see. And, where did all the, sweeps go? Where did all the cool little trick plays? Just because we have Curtis Samuel not on the team anymore doesn't mean Robbie Anderson or DJ Moore can't run the ball in those, sneaky little plays. What happened to all those? It was a season of confusion. Do I blame Rule? No, I don't blame Matt Rule for all of this. Does he take some part of the blame? Of course he does. He's the head coach. No matter what happens during a season, your head coach has to be partially to blame for at least some of it. Do I blame Sam Darnold? No. Do I feel like he crumbled a little bit? Yes. Do I understand why? Also yes. I mean, you really just, goddamn, he didn't play that bad. And he always played his heart out. You can't deny that. And would I be happy if we got a hot commodity in the draft? Sure. If we got Matt Corral or Kenny Pickett, I'd be pretty happy. But I'm also 100% happy if we try to give Sam an offensive line to work with for one more year. Let him prove it. He showed flashes of brilliance throughout the year. I'm just tired of everyone giving him so much shit because we had a hard year offensively, mostly because the offensive line, because they just wanted Cam back. I love Cam so much. I just look, age gets to people, especially scramble archetype quarterbacks. And he needs to step back and be a leadership position in the locker room rather than someone who's just going to try to be the starter because he just doesn't have it anymore. And it pains me to say that, but that just happens. Sometimes veteran quarterbacks just sit behind the new guy, help teach him, and help be a leader in the locker room. And hell, if Cam retired as well and just became part of the Carolina front office, I'd be happy with that too. As long as he stays in Carolina, because I want him around. He just can't be the starting quarterback. Either way, that's all I have for this video. Just a little bit of a rant about what happened in a quick sense. No really too in-depth, observations, but it more of me just saying stop fucking acting like we need to start chopping everyone's heads off and realize that it was a tough year. It could have been way worse. We're seeing flashes of brilliance in some people, and we're seeing the defense rise. Just give Rule and Darnold one more year. See if Rule can fix his personality issues and the off-the-field issues in the locker room. See if Darnold can get, some better consistency under a good offensive line. And then let Phil Snow just keep stunting on them hoes because goddamn that man's a beautiful fucking bastard.